It was posted on the official township bulletin board, or the Upper Township website, emailed to the Atlantic City Press, the Ocean City Sentinel Ledger, the Herald Times, and filed with the township clerk. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded up until the closed session portion of this meeting and will be available on the Upper Township website. I hereby direct this announcement be paid a part of this meeting. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Corson is absent. Mrs. Hayes?
Present.
Mr. Knappen?
Here.
Mr. Pankos?
Here.
Mayor Newman?
Here. Your pleasure on the minutes.
Move we approve the December 18th, 2023 regular and closed session minutes.
Second. Call the roll.
Mrs. Hayes? Mr. Knappen?
Yes.
Mr. Pankos?
Yes.
Mayor Newman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
We'll start report of governing body members. Mark Pankos, you done signing your stuff yet?
I'm working on it. The only thing I really have, not much different from last week, but we are about to embark on our road project, so that'll be coming up. I think Darryl will have a little more information for us during his speech. And also, just want to remind Gary and you guys that we want to stay on top of the county projects that are outstanding, to make sure they come across the finish line before the end of the year, as promised.
We're working on Church Road as we speak. So.
That's all. Thank you.
Our winter sports recreation season is well underway, and I just want to bring to everyone's attention that we are embarking on our second season with flag football, so you can go online to register now. If you go to the Township Facebook page, it's posted there with a link, so you can go ahead and register. We want to see that program continue to grow. It was pretty popular last year, but we need to see it continue to be successful. That is all I have to see.
Thank you, Victor.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Thanks to everyone that came out to the reorg on Friday night. It was a great night. As far as the animal control, we have our free rabies clinic coming up January 20th, 1 to 3 p.m., rain or shine, 73 Hope Corson Road in Seabell. So see you all out there to get your pets vaccinated. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. I have just a couple things tonight. First of all, I have a report. I did go over to the beach today in Stratford to look at the Stratford beach and spoke with the contractor briefly. I don't take anything away from Zach or Gary when they come up with it, but the beach replenishment is done. They're done filling the beach. They're working on cleaning up and working on your passes right now. So the dredge is going and it looks good. It's not, according to them, they're not going to Seattle. They're going somewhere else and come back to Seattle. So I guess we're fortunate we got what we did, and it's all looking good there. So that's a very, very good positive thing. Also, you'll notice on your consent agenda, we are requesting to promote four of our EMTs from our division of EMS. This is in accordance with getting our command structure lined up. It's for the safety and benefit of not only our EMS members, but also all the residents of the township. And we're going to start with doing a quick, brief biography on each of them. Jen Tiesevitz, would you like to stand up, please? You probably don't want to. Jen Tiesevitz is being promoted tonight to senior supervising EMT. Jennifer began in the public safety field as a 911 telecommunicator dispatcher for the Middle Township Police Department in 1999, where she served 17 years. Once receiving her EMT certification in 2008, she became a volunteer member of Rio Grande Rescue and was a volunteer member there from 2008 to 2021, being recognized as a life member in 2014. She was employed by Township of Middle EMS in 2009. She served there through 2021, of which the last 4 years she held the title of Senior EMT. In 2021, she was hired by Township of Upper as a part-time EMT and then made full-time in July of 2022. So Jen, congratulations. As of tonight, after we pass the consent agenda, you'll be supervising EMT. Very good. Good job. Jonathan Carter, stand up, please. Jonathan Carter obtained his EMT certification at the age of 16 and quickly began volunteering with the Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company and then the Upper Township Rescue Squad. supervising EMT Carter has been no stranger to the public safety industry, having the privilege of watching his father, who recently retired as chief of the Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company, serve in the fire service since he was a child. Carter's previous EMS experience comes from his employment as an EMT for the Millville Fire Department, Seattle City EMS, and Stone Harbor Fire Department. Supervising EMT Carter also works as a seasonal EMT in the summer with Ocean City Beach Patrol, where he just accepted a promotion to Lieutenant of EMS. Jonathan Carter was hired by the Township of Upper as a part-time EMT in 2019, and then later as a full-time EMT in 2020. Since then, Carter has obtained his Firefighter 1 certification in 2021 and is enrolled in paramedic school in 2022. Some of Carter's collected certifications over the past few years have included mental health resilience officer, emergency medical dispatcher, CPR instructor, stop the bleed instructor, and field training officer. In Mr. Carter's spare time, he enjoys being active in the community, including coaching lacrosse for the Upper Township Warriors. Mr. Carter loves to travel and has had the privilege of being part of the cleanup efforts in Houston, Texas, as hurricane strikes. So congratulations, John. Oh yeah, both of you guys, I think both of you were involved in the kids camp, heavily involved. And you'll see John Carter's name coming up again on the consent agenda, together with Kyle Lindholm, who is Jen's son, as being Upper Township Safety Employees of the Year. So good job. Deputy Chief John Britton Jr. John Britton, please stand up. John Britton is a longtime Upper Township resident, has always been active in his community, from serving in his local church to working at his family's local pharmacy and health food store. Mr. Deputy Chief Britton has continuously felt drawn to service, spending much time through his high school years in short-term mission work, both foreign and domestic. Deputy Chief Britton began his journey in EMS as a senior at Ocean City High School. It was at that time he began volunteering as an EMT Upper Township Rescue Squad. He took his passion for EMS with him to Rowan University, where he volunteered as an EMT while completing his undergraduate studies. Shortly after that, Deputy Chief Britton was hired by Township of Upper as a part-time EMT in 2017. For the next 3 years, Deputy Chief Britton balanced his studies and many hours as a volunteer EMT at Rowan University, working part-time at the Township of Upper as an EMT, the Sparrow Medical Center of Elmer as an emergency department technician, and Crowd RX in Camden as an EMT. During the same time frame, Deputy Chief Britton climbed the ranks at Rowan University EMS, serving as captain in his final 2 years with the department. After graduating to Rowan University with his bachelor's degree in advertising, Deputy Chief Britton was hired by the Township of Upper as a full-time EMT while beginning his graduate studies online in public administration. He went on to complete a series of training and certificate programs that assisted further equipping him to become more effective in the field. Some of these include New Jersey Emergency Medical Dispatcher, National Fire Academy's Managing Emergency Medical Services, and Emergency Manager 1. Deputy Chief Britton was appointed as a provisional senior EMT in September 2021 and then supervising EMT in April of 2022. Britton is currently enrolled in the Jersey Civil Service Commission Certified Public Manager Program held by Rutgers University with an expected graduation date of summer of 2024. Deputy Chief Britton makes it clear that he is honored and humbled to have been able to serve in the areas he has attributed all his past, present, and future success to the grace of his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Congratulations, John. Good job. Chief Melissa Coker. Chief Melissa Coker was introduced to EMS World starting at age 15 as a junior member of the Minatola Rescue Squad in Buena, alongside with her mother and grandfather. Melissa started as a part-time EMT with the Township of Upper in 1999. She was then hired full-time in 2005. Prior to her full-time career with Upper Township, Melissa worked for Ocean City Police Department as dispatcher for 5 years. Throughout her course of full-time employment with the Township, Melissa served as a senior EMT from 2015 to 2019, deputy chief from 2019 to 2021, and then temporary chief since 2021. Throughout her career, Chief Coker has had the privilege of attending the National Fire Academy Emmitsburg for 2 14-day-long courses, managing of emerging medical service and advanced leadership. Chief Coker has also had the honor of being part of the delivery of a baby during her career. Not your own, right? Okay. So that's two. Chief Coker has been a consistent supporter of mental health training for staff throughout her time in various positions. Chief Coker has a husband and daughter that she is proud to serve as dedicated volunteers in the public safety field in Upper Township. Thank you very much. Good job. So, as you can see, we have several long-time employees that are moving up in the ranks, and this has really been a tribute to our department, our division of EMS, all the employees, and our township employees as a whole. Go out there and better themselves and are able to be eligible for and qualified for promotions.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just add that listening to all of that experience makes us really recognize how safe we are in this community, because we both know healthcare tends to be an on-the-job learning type of situation. So we appreciate all the knowledge and experience you guys bring. And additionally, I'd like to say thank you for your personal investments in our community. I know every time we have an event in the community, every time there's a sports program that needs someone to respond or someone just to hang out and make sure everybody's okay, additionally, all the time is spent in your personal time. So thank you for that.
Yeah, they do a great job as they all. Thank you. Barry.
Mayor, if it does have a confirmation vote, I'd like to have some pictures taken relative to the employees and the promotions. I was honored enough to sit into their interviews and listen to how they present themselves and how they, again, their personal involvement in the community. It is truly humbling to be part of that process, to hear how much time they have invested into your town.
So we could do that after the consent agenda.
Yes.
Okay. Official.
I can't really go more than what we did last for reorg, right? So
Yes.
you ran down the list of grants and open space projects. Paving is coming up. We had a fantastic today, which is paving. The cooperation between Public Works, Great Lakes, Walters. Walters is a local company, and they have just over and above done what we contracted them to do on the beach side. And then we're finishing the crossovers at this stage, but the project and the pumping went fantastic. Again, the same thing that Committeeman Pankos had said, the outstanding grants and open space projects last quarter. We're going to be moving into this quarter, so everybody had put the 20-plus projects on my board that we're looking to collaborate and bring the completion this year. So they look fantastic. So 4 or 5 different open space projects that we actually, thank goodness, Ms. Hayes was paying attention, because you uncovered one that the county forgot. Right. So the good things are coming for a very good year. That's all I have.
Thank you. Joanne?
I have nothing, thank you.
Mr. Bonzo?
Yes, Mayor. I didn't get a chance to say anything at the reorg meeting, but I just wanted to thank all of you for reappointing me as your solicitor. It's a real honor, and I enjoy working with all of you, with Gary, Joanne, Barbara, Zach, and just can't say enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Zachary? Or we'll go Barbara first.
I have nothing to report this evening.
There you go, Zach.
Happy New Year to everybody. So first thing is Mr. DeMarzo has informed us about the open space application, so we'll be working with him closely on that. As far as the beach replenishment, yes, so now the focus is more towards going with the crossovers now for the beach, and then after that would be grass dunes. Church Road, that is continuing going on. We're still working on the drainage improvements through the whole stretch of the road, so still expect detours. Not really much now because of the weather, but that's shortly after that. And as far as the pump stations, we're working closely with the contractor to try to make sure that the project goes smoothly. And that's all I have right now.
Thank you. All righty. Let's go on to consent agenda. Anybody's pleasure on the consent agenda? I think it'd be, items. Okay.
All consent agenda items listed below are routine in nature and will be enacted by one motion. If the mayor or any committee member wishes a particular agenda item to be considered separately, it will be removed from the consent agenda and acted on separately.
motion to approve items number 1 through 17 on the consent agenda.
Second. Would you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Hayes? Mr. Nappen?
Yes.
Mr. Pankos?
Yes.
Mayor Newman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. You guys want to come up and we'll get a picture? Yep. Bert, you got a comb for me so I can comb my hair?
He's the one that uses root here.
That's got to be the worst British accent I ever heard.
Monty must know how the polo fields are.
Okay, we have new business. The Ocean City Crew Boosters request to hold raffle RA 565 at E. Marie Hayes Boathouse, 34th Street Bridge, Marmora, on various dates beginning April 1st, 2024 through April 30th, 2024.
Motion approved.
Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Hayes? Mr. Nappen?
Yes.
Mr. Pankos?
Yes.
Mayor Newman?
Yes.
Motion carried. 19, South Shore Stitchers request to hold raffle RA 566 at Tuckahoe United Methodist Church, 112 Route 49, Tuckahoe, on November 11th, 2024.
Motion to approve. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Hayes? Mr. Nappen?
Yes.
Mr. Pankos?
Yes.
Mayor Newman?
Yes.
Motion carried. 20, Strathmere 4th of July Parade along Commonwealth Avenue and Baby Drive from Prescott Avenue to Williams Avenue.
Motion approved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Hayes? Mr. Nappen?
Yes.
Mr. Pankos?
Yes.
Mayor Newman?
Yes.
Motion carried. Under unfinished business, we have draft ordinance adding Chapter 4, short-term rentals of the Code of Upper Township.
Do you want to hit the bullet points, or do you want to tell me the bullet points? I mean, it was a collaborative effort.
Very collaborative effort. So I guess, Tony, if you want to just give a little overview and then we can talk about it a little bit.
Okay. So, I mean, after several meetings with the committee that was appointed to review this matter, a draft ordinance was developed. And I'll just hit the points that I think are relevant and of concern, I think, of most people that were involved in this process. The first is we're defining short-term rentals as anything that is 30 consecutive days or less. So the purpose of this ordinance is not to prohibit all short-term rentals. It's to put some regulation in place that will control the problems associated with short-term rentals. So the first is that for properties that are 1 acre or less, there can be no rental for less than 7 consecutive days. For properties that are more than 1 acre, there can be no rental for less than 3 consecutive days. And that applies anywhere in the township with the exception of the boundaries of the Waterfront Town Center, the Marmora Town Center, the Resort Residential Area, and the Resort Commercial Zoning Districts. So for those rental units, short-term rentals that are permitted, and that's either between 3 and 30 days or between 7 and 30 days, there are some restrictions that apply that address the problems that we've encountered, or at least the complaints associated with short-term rentals. And those restrictions are there can't be more than 2 cars at the property for homes up to 3 bedrooms and an additional car for each additional bedroom. So you don't have these mega parties at these short-term rental properties that sometimes occur. Occupancy is limited to 2 individuals per bedroom. Occupants are required to comply with all municipal ordinances and state statutes pertaining to noise, nuisances, and health concerns. No amplified music permitted outdoors past 9 p.m. And all trash is to be placed in closed containers and at the curb for pickup on the scheduled day. So there are the main restrictions. These short-term rentals need to be registered. They're not getting a license, but they need to be registered with the municipal clerk. And the enforcement authority lies with the housing official, the code enforcement officer, the zoning official, and the construction code official. And if there are 3 or more violations of those restrictions, which I just read, over the course of any calendar year, the registration is no longer valid, and the short-term rental for that year and the subsequent year would be prohibited. So there are the highlights of it, and I think we've narrowed it to really what the problems were. We took away a lot of the concerns that people had with respect to what they believed was an intrusion on property rights and an overregulation of all properties that rent. So this one is very tailored to the problems that were brought to the attention of the committee. That's it, Mayor.
That will be, is that, who's on your committee?
So first, I want to thank members of the public who came out and voiced their concerns about the original ordinance, because I think we missed a lot of the original ordinance. Right? It wasn't really the intent of what we were trying to do. It targeted all rental properties rather than honing in on the issues with the short-term rentals. So first, I'd like to say thank you there. Thank you to the members of the subcommittee. We had a very impassioned group, some in favor, some opposed, and we had some good dialogue and some interesting conversation that I think really resulted in something that everybody is comfortable with. I also would like to say thank you to Bruce Riordan. Part of this ordinance, which was in the original ordinance, is that the properties in Strathmere are eliminated. That's that resort residential area, right? So none of these restrictions are going to occur with those properties in Strathmere. However, his extensive knowledge of rental properties of this type and seasonal properties, along with fire code and health standards and things as his position as chief, was really invaluable, and he really provided some levity through those conversations. I think this really accomplishes what we wanted to accomplish. We are looking to take our residential neighborhoods and protect them from becoming, having event houses and parties and transient neighbors coming in and out through those little cul-de-sacs that we all enjoy so much. I will say that one additional thing that I'm learning now that will be an unintended consequence and benefit, I hope, is that this would also help with the rental housing market, right? So I'm learning that these Airbnbs are part of the problem with the lack of housing in Cape May County, that the high profit of these short-term rentals and the turnaround is part of the reason why they're experiencing such a housing shortage here. So I'm hopeful that by limiting some of the ability, it will increase some of those longer-term rentals.
Okay, thank you very much, and we will have the orders for introduction at the next meeting. Is that the plan?
So just for clarification, there's a real estate officer on there, committee members, and there was another, who would
So there were really several residents. One was an owner of an Airbnb,
Right, okay.
Who, he had some concerns as to what was going to be limited. He had purchased the property with the intention of, the only way he could afford to purchase the property, really, was if he could, rent it out to pay the mortgage on it. So it was a good dialogue between him and some of the residents who had experienced some negative outcomes from having a property like this in their neighborhood. And I believe that everybody, came to an agreement that everyone could live with and felt like it at least made some sort of impact one way or the other.
And I agree. I mean, sitting on that committee with the deputy mayor, I thought it was very, I won't say brilliant, but it was super smart to utilize what the township has. And what the township has is space. So if we have the space, then you can have the Airbnb expansion use, and if you don't have the space, then you can't have that Airbnb. And that's kind of what came to the point of the delineation when Tony came in, and then that's how we built the balance of the ordinance, just on that delineation of that space.
And then Pancoast also had some good suggestions that we incorporated into this with respect to enforcement. The 3-strike thing was a very good provision for that.
All around was a spirited group, and I said out, I'm very satisfied with the final product.
We're good for introduction next meeting. Would be good. All right. Thank you very much. pleasure of the bills.
Hereby move that all claims submitted for payment at this meeting be approved and then appropriated in full in minutes of this meeting.
Call roll, please.
Mrs. Hayes? Mr. Knappen?
Yes.
Mr. Pankos?
Yes.
Mayor Newman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, this time we will open the meeting up to the public. Public comment, if you would like to make a comment, feel free to step up to the microphone and just state your name and city that you live in, just for clarification. Okay, hearing none or seeing none, I will close the public portion of the meeting and turn to my favorite person to the left, David Mark Pankos.
The only person. I hereby move that a resolution be incorporated into the minutes authorizing the Township Committee to enter into an executive session for the following matters pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. Number 1, personnel. 2, contract negotiation, Colliers Engineering. 3, contract negotiation, MUA host community benefit agreement. Number 4, contract negotiation, planning consultant. And number 5, attorney-client privilege dredge material. I also include in my motion the estimated time and the circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public as follows. A, it is anticipated that the matters discussed in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon a determination of the Township Committee that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. B, with respect to employment and personnel matters, such discussion will be made public if and when formal action is taken or when the individuals involved consent that it can be made public. C, with respect to contract negotiations, such matters will be made public when negotiations have ceased and there is no longer a reason for confidentiality.
Would you call roll, please?
Mrs. Hayes? Mr. Knappen?
Yes.
Mr. Pankos?
Yes.
Mayor Newman?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, we'll take a couple minutes.